Hi everyone, as promised, putting together a 20-minute routine for you to do Pilates while you're off on your holidays and while we're off on our holidays. So I'm just going to get started. Key thing is all you need is a mat or a towel and a pillow, and then you're all set. So you're going to have a lie down. You can either lie down on the ground or, if it's more comfortable, on the bed. The ground obviously has a little bit more kind of feedback, but it's whichever is more comfortable for you. So to start with, you're just going to think about relaxing your shoulders towards the floor and relaxing your feet. Knees are hip distance apart, and then you're just going to gently place your hands on your pelvis. Nice breath in through the nose and out through the nose, and directing the breath down towards your pelvis. So everything's relaxed, nice and wide through your collarbone, head is heavy on the pillow, and just a nice count of 2 on your breath in and a count of 3 on your breath out. So you want the breath down towards the belly, shoulders are relaxed, and just a couple more breaths in and out. And then we're going to focus on your pelvis. So you're going to visualize that you're pointing your pelvis downwards, your sit bones, you're growing them towards your heels, and then you're going to tuck your tailbone under and roll your pelvis back. So you're going to widen your sit bones down towards the heels, and then you're going to tuck your tailbone and roll back. So it's just that nice rocking motion of your pelvis. Everything, remember, is nice, slow control. We're trying to get that movement pattern happening. So it's widening the sit bones, tucking the tailbone under, widening the sit bones, and tucking the tailbone under. So nice, gentle, relaxed, and you're going for about 10 reps, and it's just allowing that pelvis to move in space. Lovely. Then you're going to think about your sit bones again. You're going to walk one sit bone down towards the heel on that side, and then we're going to alternate and walk the other side. So you're lengthening one sit bone to your heel, and then lengthening the other sit bone to the heel. So it's literally like you're walking sit bone to the heel, and we're just getting that nice little bit of mobility through that pelvis. So again, we're doing 1, 2, we're aiming for about 8 to 10 on each side. So it's just lengthening, and again, nice slow pace. Grow one long, grow one long. And as one lengthens, the other one will shorten. Excellent. All right, you're going to walk your feet as wide as the mat now. Hands are going to come down by your side. You're going to take your right knee and you're going to drop it in as if you're trying to reach the inside of the left ankle. And then you're coming up and you're dropping left knee to touch the inside of the right ankle. The other knee stays standing towards the ceiling, so we're just getting that bit of mobility again through that hip and pelvis. You're dropping that knee as if you want to touch the inside of the ankle, and then alternate and drop that knee down. Again, we're aiming for about 8 to 10 reps is about right. Again, nice slow pace. We're really just trying to open up the front of that hip, and you'll feel a stretch along the front of your thigh depending on how tight you feel. Again, this whole routine is all about slowing down and connecting with your body. So it's a really slow mobility, just letting that happen from side to side. If you want to intensify it, you can pop your hands behind your head, otherwise just keep them down by your side. When they're behind your head, it just stretches up into the rib cage a little bit more. Just one more on each side, letting it drop, and then other side. Great. We're going to come back into the center so your feet are hip distance apart, and we're going to work on some leg lifts. So think about the ball and socket of your hip joint. You're going to just gently lift the right leg up to roll the ball back into the socket,
and then you're bringing that leg back down. So you're going to breathe in, and as you breathe out, you're lifting the leg up and then coming back down. And on this one, we're going to alternate legs. So right leg lifts on that breath out, breathe in, bring it back down, breath in, and then on the breath out, we're going to lift the left leg up and then coming back down. Shifting that weight over, we're going to lift the right again. So the lower part of the leg is nice and floppy. We're not lifting it up high, it's just rolling that ball back into the socket and into that lift. So lift and lower, lift and lower. And again, magic number 8 to 10 reps. You're just getting that nice sense of mobility. You should feel a little bit of weight shift from one side to the other because you're alternating. Lovely. Lift and lower, lift and lower. We'll do one more on each side. And lift and lower. Lovely. Coming back to those legs now, we're going to come up into tabletop position. So one leg at a time, you're going to bring your leg up into that tabletop where your thigh bone is 90 degrees, your shin bone is 90 degrees, and then the other leg comes up to join it. You're going to relax your shoulders, head is nice and relaxed on the pillow, and then we're going to toe tap to the floor. So you fold your leg, tap the foot to the floor, come back up. Fold the leg, tap the foot to the floor, come back up. Closer the foot is to your sit bone, the easier it is. Further the foot is away, the more you're working, and therefore you just need to be more mindful of the position of your back as you do that. So I would keep the steps really close. So lower, back to the start point, lower, back to the start point. Again, we're aiming for about 10 on each leg, and we're just working our way through there. Remember, as we're doing this, because it's activating your lower core, just be mindful that you're not cheating with your rib cage. Try and keep those ribs down, and keep your neck and shoulders relaxed as well. So it's working through, and then toe tap, back up, toe tap, back up. And we're going to bring both feet back down to the start. So just giving your legs a little bit of a wiggle, and now we're going to get your arms involved. So you're going to extend your arms up to 90 degrees, so they're right in front of that shoulder girdle, and your palms are facing each other and your thumbs are going to lead the movement. So keeping that rib cage in a good position, we're going to extend the arms overhead, keeping the ribs from lifting, and then you're bringing them back to the start. So breathe in, and on the breath out, extend the arms overhead, and then bringing them back to the start. Nice way to think about it is visualize that you're holding something between your hands, and it just keeps them in that lovely shoulder distance apart. So you're going to lower overhead, and then back to the start. And just connect your mind's eye to that rib cage. Is your rib cage trying to lift and help you, or can you actually roll that ball and socket of the shoulder without getting the ribs involved? Extend overhead and coming back. And again, rhythm of your breath is really nice. Just breathe out as you go back overhead. Breathe in as you come forward. Then we're going to keep your arms directly in front of your shoulder. We're going to get the legs involved. So we're going to come back up into that tabletop position. So one leg up, then the second leg up, and then we're going to extend the arms overhead again. So breathing out, coming back to the start. Breathing out, back to the start. Breathing out, back to the start. And I'll just reiterate that lovely magic number, 8 to 10 reps. so that you're just letting your muscles work to control that position. If you're finding 8 to 10 reps is too much, you just drop it down to 6, but it's just about nice, slow, controlled movement. And then back in the center, we'll get your legs involved. So as the arms go overhead, you're going to extend one leg to 45 degrees, and then they come back in together. And then you alternate, coming back in together. Breathe out as you extend, breathe in as they come back. Breathe out, extend, in as you come back, out, extend, in as you come back, out, extend, in as you come back. Again, about 8 on each side, good, extend out and back, extending out and back, extending out and back, and extending out and back. And then one leg at a time, you're going to come back down to the ground. Bringing those shoulders down, you're going to just slide the pillow out from underneath your head. You don't need it for this one. You're going to bring your sit bones a little bit closer, your heels a little closer to your sit bones. Hands are down by your side, and we're going to come into a bridge. So you want to think about rolling your tailbone up, lifting the hips up to bring your weight into your shoulder blades, and then segment by segment, you're just going to roll all the way back down until that pelvis comes back to the floor. Breathing in, and on the breath out, we're going to tuck that tailbone under. Hips come up, weight shifts up to the shoulders, and then rolling all the way back down and landing on those sit bones. Once more, tucking that tailbone under. Hips roll up, weight shifts all the way up to the shoulders. Segment by segment, you're going to roll all the way back down so that pelvic bone ends up on the floor. And again, tucking that tail under, rolling all the way up, and then segment by segment, you're coming all the way back down. We've got 2 more. Just check that your heels haven't moved further away from the sit bones. Nearer your heels are to the sit bones, the higher you can make that bridge. So you're going to tuck under again, hips come up towards the ceiling, shifting weight to the shoulder blades, and then rolling all the way down, segment by segment. And then last one, we're going to tuck your tailbone under, let that lower back come into that roll up into those shoulder blades, and then segment by segment, just letting yourself come all the way back down. Excellent. All right, we're going to have a roll onto our side. So you want your pillow again, that's going to just come underneath your head, and we're going to, resting the head there, you want to make sure that your spine is nice and long, your heels are lined up with your tailbone, so if you lift your heels up, you should see that they're in line. Knees are bent up to about 80-90 degrees, and then my top hand is here just so I can monitor. So what we want to do is press the heels together and lift that top leg up into a clam, and then coming back down. Now, key things are people cheat by rolling back through their spine or letting their hip roll back. You want to keep that all stacked nicely through there, and we're going to lift up, and then we're going to lift down. So lift up, and then coming down, and the more I press my heels together, the more I can feel that glute muscle working. So lifting up and coming down, and it's just using that top hand to monitor. Again, we're going for that lovely 8 to 10 reps, and you should start feeling that glute is starting to work hard, particularly after we've just done our bridges. Lovely. Got 2 more, lift and lower, lower. And then we're going to flick your heels up in the air, and same thing. Heels stay together, you keep your spine in a nice neutral position, and you're lifting and lowering. And lift and lower. And now I can feel my glute burn, so I apologize for all the times I've made you do this in class. It's nice. Lift and lower, lift and lower. Last two, lift and lower, and last one, lift and lower. Excellent. You're going to keep your bottom leg bent up. Top leg is going to come out nice and straight, and keeping the toes pointing forward, we're going to lift the long leg up and down as well. So this is just to get a different segment of the glute. Again, what you want to watch is that the leg's not drifting forward or drifting too far behind. Keep it in line with your trunk, and you're just lifting and lowering. And really just nice long leg, knee is straight, and the toes are pointing forward. Lovely. Again, we're going for that nice 10 reps. Another 2 to go. Good, and 1, and coming down. Okay, now's a nice bit, the stretch. You're gonna bring those legs back up together. You're gonna open your bottom arm out in front of you, top hand comes on top, and we're gonna come into your book openings. So you're just drifting that arm all the way over and back behind you, and then coming forward again. And you let your head follow the movement. You wanna feel that nice roll through, and you should feel it down through the spine and into the glute as well. So it's a lovely open through, and take your time with this. This is for allowing that rib cage to move. Let your diaphragm open up. Nice breath in, breath out when you're back there, so you get a little bit more of a stretch, and then coming forward again. So we're opening all the way out, and then coming back. And again, we're going to open all the way out, and then coming back. All the way out, just holding back in that breath, and coming forward, and again, all the way out, and coming back. One more, opening all the way out, and then coming back. Okay, then we get to do it all on the other side. So I'm just gonna turn around. Same thing again, knees are bent up to 80-90 degrees. That top hand is on your hip, and your heels, just line them up with your tailbone. You're gonna press those heels together, lift that top leg up, and then coming down. So it's a nice lift and lower, lift and lower. Really using that top hand to monitor that you're not trying to cheat with your back. We want this all to work into those glutes. Lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. Then we're going to flick those heels up in the air. You're going to lift and lower in that position. Sit. And just lifting and lowering. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. It's always good to kind of see, is one side better than the other? We're not very symmetrical as humans, so it's really interesting to see what works better one side than the other. Good. We've got one more lift and lower. Lovely. Bottom leg's going to stay bent up. You've got the top leg is out long, pointing your toes forward. Again, monitor with your hip, and we want that leg to come up in line with your trunk. So it's just a lift and lower, And again, nice long leg. You're lifting and lowering, that knee is straight and you're coming down. Lift and lower, lift and lower, and lower, lift and lower. Last two, lift and lower. Last one and down. Lovely. Knees back on top of each other, both hands out in front, and you're going to open up into that arc, into those book openings. Hand wants to try and reach the floor behind us, and then you're coming back. And you want that head to roll. So don't stay looking forward, let your body roll to get a little bit more into those ribs and into that hip, and then coming forward again. And as I said earlier, take your time. This is quite nice. You want to get that lovely movement in your spine and just getting that opening through the front of your chest. So opening up, breathing out when you're back, just to let it settle a little bit more. Coming forward, and you're just getting this really nice mobility through your rib cage. Coming in and out of that movement. And again, we're going to aim for that 8 to 10 reps. And enjoy this. Take your time. You can take as long as you want, just opening that through and working out. Lovely. We're going to go for 2 more. Nice long arc. Keep that elbow nice and long as you come over the body. And then last one, and we're coming through. Lovely. Okay, to finish off with, we're going to come on to all fours, and we're going to come into your lovely cat camel. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and we're just going to start with your head. You're going to tuck your tail, or tuck your head under, and you're going to roll up through, and the last bit that tucks under is your tailbone. And then you're going to widen your sit bones, let your rib cage drop forward, and your head comes forward to look forward. Again, start from your head, tuck your chin under, tuck all the way, rolling up through that rib cage, and the tailbone tucks under at the end. And then we widen our sit bones and coming forward. Obviously, if you've got any knee problems with this one, you just need to either cushion the knees, or you can just leave this part out. But it's just a nice bit of mobility through that spine to get that moving. Tucking the chin under, rolling up, really arch through that back. Tailbone tucks under, widen the sit bones to unravel it, and then looking forward. And again, head starts the movement, tuck under, tailbone is the last thing to tuck. And then the tailbone is the first thing to widen. Let your ribs drop down and coming forward. We've got 2 more, tucking under, coming through. And then widening your sit bones and opening up again. Lovely. Okay, so I think that should keep you busy while we're away. If you've got any questions, just email me, but I think you should all be fine with all of those exercises. Enjoy your break, and we'll see you in January 2023.